Bertha, instead of devils, I need your help now with Nikvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Well, I'm waiting for Lord Libac to stop by. I brewed him another phial of medicine. But I don't even know if the last one... I told him to stop by for another one soon.
Did he say where he was headed?
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe with me, as well as his phial of medicine.
Oh, come now. Nikvard misplaced an important book somewhere. A sort of alchemist cookbook. I need to find it.
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret is certainly worth more.
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much, how about this? That'll buy you more than one book.
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind. And do you have the exact amount?
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with Lord Libac.
But now tell me, what's the medicine for?
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Nikvard didn't have time to run down the stairs, eh?
It was in the privy down below the crone, by the training ground below the guardhouse. I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters, though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead, and only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time...
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as it happens to the best of us. And I told him as much. I must say, he did look as if the fate of the entire cast...
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
Good day to you.
Do you know where I can find Nikvard? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nikvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nikvard.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you...
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have...
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in... The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough. Nikvard has a flair for the dramatic.
My, that's Liebach for you.
But what does it mean?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's Potion Book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here.
I need help. You can give it some thought, can't you?
No! And
Greetings to you. Damn it.
I'm looking for Nikvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Liebach. I almost forgot about him. I suppose his task wasn't so pressing.
What task?
Nick Liebach, that is. He's a castle lord. Obviously, I had to obey him. But then I heard what another castle lord was planning, von Berghoff. And he says there's a war on. So here I am.
I need to know more about what Nikvard asked you to do.
No. There are new rules.
I understand, sure. Just tell me what you want, and let's not delay.
A sword.
Sword? What sword?
A long and very good one to help me deal with other spies. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an enemy spy who should fear me. Forge one, buy one, or even steal one for me. Maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, they're not in... Once I get a sword, I'll fill you in on Nikvard's task.
You wanted a sword? So look at what I got for you.
I don't want an invisible sword. Them are spy swords. Suspicious.
I'll gladly give you some groschen to buy your own.
Only spies pay Unless you had more groschen than a common spy would. Then I'd believe you ain't one of them.
I'm not going to pay you that much.
You want to hang on to your spy earning.
Listen, Hirsch.
Don't try any word games on me. Deeds talk louder than words. For example...
I'll think of a way to convince you.
What would you like?
Show me your way.
Thank you, and take...
About Nick.
Got that sword yet?
You wanted a...
That's perfect. Lovely. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but you seem all right.
What about Nikvard, then?
Nikvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to Lord von Berghoff. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him something he lost outside the castle. And I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone was sneaking around about. But then Nikvard clutched his belly and ran off. So I never found out what he wanted.
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nikvard, ask him if he still needs it or whether he found it himself. I'll be going into war soon, so I don't have time for these.
I'll tell him. about that lost alchemy book.
Please tell me you found it.
Not yet, but I searched for Nikvard, and I have some clues.
Tell me what you've learnt, then.
It looks like Nikvard brewed some sort of potion from the book. He told Regina it would restore his youth, but the potion didn't sit well with him. He must have spent a lot of time on the privy at the training grounds below the Crone. Bertha brewed a digestive potion for him, but it didn't work. When he wasn't shitting or writing notes to servants, he asked Hirsch to bring him something from beyond the castle walls. He lost something there, and then he vanished without a trace.
What do you think about it?
You said that Nikvard had a habit of carrying books everywhere with him. If that was the case with the alchemy one, it's possible it fell down the latrine while he was shitting by the training ground. And now it's lying somewhere on the cliffs beyond Trotsky.
That actually sounds quite likely to me. Let's pray he didn't use it to wipe himself. Go there and look. Perhaps you'll find the book, and Nikvard too.
You must be Nikvard, eh? Poor wretch.
God grant you health.
Ugh, starting to stink. Has to be me standing over the body. What a fucking day. Excuse me.
Sand-coloured cover, embossed. That'll be the book Crazer wants. It looks quite ordinary, apart from being covered in shit. What a view!